Manipur is slipping back into a tense phase. What began as an anger over the killing of 2 children in Bishnupur has now turned into a nightly flashpoints. Hundreds are out on the streets regularly. Curfew is being openly defied. But this is no longer just a protest. Security agencies warn that instigators are hijacking the movement. But there is also another aspect. A lot of people are saying that please do not criminalize the protests that are taking place. Now, security says that anti-social elements are using petrol bombs, iron projectiles and catapults directly targeting security. Now, several rallies have turned violent. Clashes in Kakching, Uripok forced security forces to fire tear gas. Police says that they have arrested over 20 people in connections with the recent clashes. At the same time, there are growing concerns about the re-emergence of armed elements, with authorities flagging renewed activity by groups that had remained subdued in recent months. On the ground, protest organizers insist that the movement is aimed at pressurizing the Centre for Accountability. But the fact is you have a BJP government there. So the pressure should be on Imphal, not on New Delhi. But meanwhile, police says that the maximum restraint is being exercised. So the big question is Manipur heading towards another cycle of violence? Before I play out the bite, let me introduce my guest. I'm joined by Brijesh Pandey, input editor, News9, PK Mishra, former ADG BSF, Colonel Shanti Kumar Sapam, and Hijang Misao, social activist. Thank you all of you for joining me. Let me just take opening comments from everyone. Misao, tell me what's happening in Manipur.
Karthike, thank you so much for the show once again. What is happening in Manipur is really disturbing. Normal life has been affected so much, and the machinery of the government cannot be in its own course. So the people, especially the women folks, are holding the flame and protesting on the killing of innocent children, which I would say is very unfortunate. And every sensible citizens and every responsible government has to also condemn this kind of dastardly act of taking the life of innocent people. And what is one of the saddest part of Manipur is taking the life of innocent people has become a kind of sports. And the other unfortunate thing is like before the law taking its own course, unfortunate thing is like the peoples take the law into their own hand, and normal life has been badly affected, especially for people who are living hand to mouth. Okay. Now, what I would also appeal to the people of Manipur is it is understandable taking of anger on the street in any form, but when those kind of protests or rally turns into violence, I think in democracy, such act of violence should not be at all condoned. So I would appeal to every citizens, sensible citizens, let's allow the law to take its course and let the law also come up with fair and fairness on what is happening. Until such things are happening, I think the Manipur will always reel under this turmoil, which is not only affecting the economy, it is also affecting the studies environment of young people. It is also affecting the political environment, the social cohesion, which I would also say it is very unfortunate.
Okay. Mr. Sapam, your opening comments?
Good evening, Kartikeji. Thank you so much for having your show. And PK sir and Bisao and Pandeyji, good evening. What I have to say is very unfortunate. I can only say it's very unfortunate. The life has been disturbed. But both the events, killing of the children and the day on 10th of sniping, rifles been used to kill the 2 Naga people. Very unfortunate, but it was done in a very professional way. Why the people are getting free and the mobs coming out in the city? Because, when there is a problem,
I think Mr. Sapam, there's a bit of an audio problem. We need to fix that. Brijesh.
Well, I think, it's extremely unfortunate. And but the fact of the matter is that, there are two sides to it. I think, the politicians or the the state should have acted with more alacrity, given the fact that Manipur is literally sitting on powder keg, and any kind of incidence is big enough for them to go back to violence, as is happening with this incident. There's also another side to it, that yes, there could be anti-social element involved, and trying to take advantage of the situation. Now, when you use the word anti-social element, it doesn't mean that the people who are protesting out there are anti-social, but they are always that certain individuals who kind of take the demonstration, take the protest to another level altogether. Now, the state should have acted with more alacrity. There was no point of attacking the CRPF camp, which resulted in cross-firing, which further caused a death of 2 more people. So I think, that the state should have acted more in a more alert fashion, and there should be more dialogue with the people. Otherwise, there is a complete sense of, I would say, the trust factor in the government. That is completely missing.
Okay, Mr. Mishra, why is there such a strong Kokomi mobilization? Let me ask this question. Why is there such a strong Mera Paibi mobilization that we are witnessing right now?
Yes, Karthikeya, I can well tell you the reason. It's not only what happened at Roglobi. It's not only what happened at TM Kasam village in Ukrul, NH202. It's all because I'm very sure what Sapam and Mr. Pandey they have mentioned. Anti-social elements are again rising, and the worst part of it, you see, we have a number of companies of paramilitary forces there. Few of them they could be sent for election duty in Bengal, but more or less they are still there. I don't find a reason for which the weapons till now they could not recover those weapons which were taken away from police stations and other areas. And I can well tell you, Karthikeya, there are 3 points I'll tell you. The weapons are still coming to Kuki-Jo militants. I am very frank in giving the names. I don't bother. No. I will tell the truth. Kuki-Jo the militants are getting weapons from Myanmar even till today. Number 1, because the border is open. Number 2, drugs are still coming, and poppy cultivation for the last 2 months already started in Surachandpur areas, and after Technopal, both left and right side, you find poppy cultivation has started. Number 3, the weapon which was used to kill this Charmau Singh, that ex-Nagaland constable at TM Kasam village, it was a sniper rifle. That was used by a well-trained person has killed. Then see the killing of these 2 children. You see this area, starting from Bishnupur, you cross Moirang. Anybody who is there, he can tell. I will tell you, Karthikeya. From Moirang, if you go to Torontobi, Terakhong, Sangbi, Kwakta, until you go to Churachandpur, right hand side, you have Thangjing and Thanga Hill. From there, the weapons are there with Kuki-Jo militants, and they are firing. They are firing since the last 2 years and 3 years they are firing. And the firing which took place, the rocket which was fired, it was fired when, you see, after 3 days of the full night. Before the moon rose, they concentrated very close to the house. See the house they have targeted. Karthikeya, I'll tell you, it is not a civilian's house.
Okay.
It is the house of a constable of BSF.
Okay, sir, let's go point by point. So let's go point by point. Let me play out the. Okay, let's go point by point. Mr. Sapam, before I go to Misao, why is there such strong Kokomi mobilization?
See, when there is a problem, to solve the problem, there has to be, some ways, short term and long term. The people of Valley people, or say the Nagas, they have not seen any, short term measures from the government side. That is why a lot of anxiety is there with people. There are 59 elected MLAs in Manipur. One is no more, and election has been done for him to replace him. But what happened is none of the MLAs are coming out and to go with the the court, or let's say having a friends or meeting to solve the problem, coming to a common agenda. Nothing of this sort is happening. Long term, maybe something, but then at least short term should be there. The ruling government, the MLAs, whether it is opposition or it is in the ruling, opposition MLAs are also part of the government. they also must come out. They must try to, control the crowd and make them understand, even the, elected all area members for that matter. Nothing of that such sort is happening. Everything is in the dark.
Okay.
That is why
everything.
those people
Everything is in the dark. Let me play out the bite of Bimol Akaijam, MP from Manipur.
Because they think that the government is not protecting their life. Look at these children being killed. They said, "वो कौन protect करेगा? सरकार का ट्रूप या इन्वेस्टिगेशन जो आप कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाते तो हम खुद करेंगे यही है ना तो they think that government of India central securities होने के बावजूद ये हो रहा है so that's what they started and I have warned this kind of a feeling जो है this is dangerous for us that we need to address this issue so it's a irresponsible behavior of the government has led to this kind of a situation in a very sensitive border state.
Okay. Now let me play out the bite of Rahul Gandhi. He also made an issue of Manipur today.
Look at what they have done to Manipur. A peaceful state, they set fire to it. Hundreds of people died. There is a civil war still carrying on in Manipur.
Okay, miss out to you. You wanted to come in. Miss out.
Yeah, what I would like to say is like jumping the gun at this point would be unfair. I think to my respectable panelists, I think we have to be very sensitive when it comes to Manipur. Because I'm sitting here and I belong to Kuki community and I should not speak for Kuki community. I should speak on behalf of humanity. Now, as I was rightly pointing out the moment when you asked me, I was saying, Manipur, the problem is ethnicity is above humanity. What is happening to the two children, it is very unfortunate. Unequivocal condemnation has to be given. At the same time, the same thing happens to two Kuki men, the farmers, innocent farmers Kuki, who were killed mercilessly, but no CSO comes out in condemnation. Just recently, another two Tangkuls were killed. And the Kuki CSO came out strongly condemning, and even other community also came out condemning. What we have to do is, we must rise above this ethnicity. We must rise above my own community. We must rise and speak together for humanity.
Yes.
Unless we do that, Manipur will still keep on burning. Now you are speaking for Meiteis. Why would I speak for Kukis? Because these anti-social elements, when government is formed, when Manipur is limping back to normalcy, this anti-social element doesn't want peace in Manipur at all. That's why they are resorting to this kind of action, killing of children, killing of innocent people. This has become a kind of sport which every human being must condemn, and we must not allow these things to happen. Today it's to your community. Today it's to one community. Next time it can also happen to me. Why should we allow these things?
No, I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. The state cannot be, the civil society cannot be in the state of constant mobilization. Because, then you challenge the sovereignty of the state. One, because there is a job which the state government needs to do after getting elected. If you completely keep the civil society in the state of mobilization, you agitate the public. People should have the say. The street is for the protest. But you keep on saying that's pressure.
Let's not jump the...
And I like your vocabulary. We should always speak for... Wait a minute. We should always speak for Manipuri people. I completely agree. This Kuki Meti thing needs to end. Only word we should use is Manipur. That's it. That's the only word which should count. Yes, Brajesh.
But I think, it's a very applaudable line which used by Hijang. He's a regular in our show. But the fact is also there, Kartikeya, that hope is a good breakfast but bad supper. The fact of the matter is that you may denounce ethnicity as much as you want to, but when you let go of the real thing which is there in front of you, which is ethnicity is now 10 times bigger than your state ambition or nationalism or national ambition, then you keep on going back to that thing is not going to solve anything. The point is that why are we witnessing this, what we are witnessing right in front of you? It is because a state has not been able to work out a system or work out a compromise or work out a scenario where they are able to get both sides sit together, or at least make sure that they are there to defang the
I have
social,
an added point
the
to it.
social groups. The state has not been able to defang them. Now, you know,
I have one more added
you
point to
cannot
it.
blame.
Yeah.
You cannot blame people. We can mask the real thing of debate with good words.
I have one more point to it. Sapam.
We allowed
Yeah,
it to
yeah.
burn to reach a level where situation
one more
is like
point
this
to
only.
it. You know, Mr. Sapam, it's
Haji.
peace also requires accountability through the process of judiciary, justice mechanism. I think that has also
Why is there
stalled.
no trust on the state government?
Yes.
That
The
has
CM has changed. What has changed? Nothing has changed.
That
on the
has
ground.
also stalled. I think that is also one of the reasons. The quick dispensation of justice.
Yeah.
And you know, the attack of you there is a murder, deplorable, but you have to do it.
Mr. Sapam. Mr. Sapam.
Okay, that I was telling that, short-term measures should be visible to the public so that things are settled down. At least the anger of the people are taken out. That is very important. Short-term measures is very important. But what happened is, Kartikeji, what we have to see is that Chief Minister goes to Jiribam, spoke to both the communities, and the next day 2 children were killed here. With infiltration, a lot of planning has been done over there. And then, he goes to Krul, and the next day 2 chaps have been shot with sniper and all these things. And again, professionalism is involved in that again. So, it is something, Bihari Vajpayee, when he went to Pakistan in a service, and then he again went to Pakistan, Musharraf, and then, that incident happened in JNK. So, there's a similarity in that. So, the MLAs of Manipur, they need to get together and come to a consensus. And thereafter, if they can solve this problem, otherwise go to this. And then united, yes, this is our Manipur. We have to solve this problem. Come what may. This kind of thing has to be taken by the.
Okay. Let me take closing comment from Mr. Mishra. Closing comments.
Yes, Karthikeyan, I can well tell you, I have only seen there are 2 persons in Manipur, those who are really working on the ground. Number 1 is the new Chief Minister. And number 2 is the Home Minister, Mr. Das. Why? What has happened to other MLAs from all the communities? They are sitting quiet. They are not going to have a discussion. Maybe at Churachandpur, maybe at Bishnupur, maybe in the buffer zone. That is what is lacking.
Maybe they worry about their lives.
And you asked me about why Kokomi is coming up. It is not Kokomi. It is the antisocial elements and the leader of antisocial elements in Kokomi. They have instigated this march and protest which is happening, because the incident has happened 2 weeks before at Tronglobi. And in fact, I am very sure, Karthikeyan, our security forces, particularly the Manipur rifles, Manipur police could have definitely found out who have killed these 2 children. 2 weeks.
I really don't want to, Mr. Mishra, get into that larger issue which I see as a journalist sitting in Delhi is there is suddenly a mobilization of lot of civil society organizations.
It is there.
That was something missing. They have come on street and the entire issue was what miss out 30 seconds. I have to close.
I would strongly appeal to the people of Manipur, let's give dialogue a chance. Rather than taking the law into our own hands, let's give dialogue a chance. And if the government is handling the case to the NIA, let's wait and watch what is happening.
Okay.
And if mobocracy, as it is happening now, is allowed to happen, then our future, we don't have any hopes.
Okay.
So today,
Misao, I got your point. You're making appeal to the people of Manipur. It's a very noble thing. I've run very short of time. I need to pass on the baton. This is all I had on point, but our coverage on Manipur will continue. So this is all I had tonight. I'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Thank you and good night. Why has Iran stopped the traffic in the Strait of Hormuz?
They want to attack us, they want to target us, so we have to defend ourselves.
They are punishing countries outside the region as well, like India, and like countries in South and East Asia.
The big problem that they've created now is the closure of the strait.
Ultimately, the main purpose of this exercise is, frankly, to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon.
Whenever they've got involved in a war on behalf of somebody else, there isn't been just an altruistic purpose.
Welcome to this edition of the AI Report.
Not accepted.
Ahead of 2026 West Bengal Assembly election, polarization in West Bengal sharpens.
टीएमसी सरकार के जाने का काउंटडाउन शुरू हो चुका है।
हम डिटेक्ट, डिलीट और डिपोर्ट ये पॉलिसी के तहत एक एक घुसपैठियों को बंगाल के बाहर निकालने का काम करेंगे।
There are three prime issues: citizenship, border, identity. Is it the Nirmam Sarkar versus May J. Babu?
যতই করো হামলা জিতবে কিন্তু বাংলা।
Who will retain the throne in West Bengal? Can West Bengal look beyond the muddy water of violent politics?
From the ground, the questions that matter, the voices that shape the vote. India votes only on News 9. Amid a fragile ceasefire, stakeholders take on the tough questions.
Was Israel surprised by the